Deep inside a vast and ancient jungle, where sunlight barely touched the ground, every animal lived in fear, not of hunger, not of storms, but of one thing only, the shadow. No one had ever seen it clearly, but everyone had heard it, the heavy thud of footsteps in the night, the violent shaking of trees. When there was no wind, and the deep, terrifying claw marks gouged into the earth. Any animal that dared to wander alone after sunset simply never came back. It was a rule of the jungle, a truth whispered from parent to child. Don't go out alone. The shadow is always watching. A young deer named Lumi lived by the river with his family. His life was peaceful until one fateful night. His older brother, strong and brave, went to the riverbank for a drink of water and never returned. The entire herd searched for him, their calls echoing through the silent trees. They followed his tracks for miles until they reached a clearing, and then, the footprints just stopped. It was as if the ground itself had opened up and swallowed him whole. The other animals exchanged fearful glances, their whispers carrying on the breeze. The shadow took him, but Lumi, his heart aching with grief and confusion, refused to believe it. He had to know the truth, against the warnings of his elders. He decided to venture deep into the forbidden jungle and find out what really happened to his brother. On his perilous journey, Lumi stumbled upon an old gray wolf named Rage. The wolf's fur was matted, and his eyes held a deep, haunted look, full of fear and ancient secrets. Lumi cautiously asked him about the shadow. Rage's voice was a low growl. The shadow is not just a beast, he rasped. He is the true king of this jungle. A lion no one has seen for years. We all thought he died. But he didn't. He became something else, something far darker. Lumi's heart pounded in his chest. Why, he asked. Why does he take animals? What does he want? Rage looked away. Towards the deepest, darkest part of the forest. Because he is guarding something, the wolf replied softly. Something far more dangerous than the jungle itself. Just as Rage finished speaking, the ground began to tremble violently. A roar exploded through the trees, a sound so powerful it felt like it could shatter bone. This was not the roar of a normal lion. It was deeper, angrier, and carried a weight of ancient sorrow. Panicked, Lumi dove behind a massive, moss-covered rock, peeking through the shadows. He saw it. A colossal shape moving between the trees, a silhouette of raw power and menace. Then, two eyes ignited in the darkness, glowing with an eerie, internal light. The body was larger, more muscular than any lion he had ever imagined. It was him, the king no one ever saw, the shadow. But then, another figure stepped out from the darkness. A sleek tiger with stripes like jagged lightning. His name was Cirque. I have been watching you, he said, his voice calm and steady. The lion you see, he is not the monster you think he is. He is not a hunter. He is a protector. Lumi, still trembling, whispered from behind his rock, protecting what? Cirque's gaze was solemn, a creature older than the forest itself, a being of pure destruction. If it ever escapes its prison, everything we know, every tree, every river, every life will be utterly destroyed. The shadow, the great lion, turned and led them to a massive cave hidden behind a waterfall. There inside was cold and thick, with a palpable sense of dread. There, in the heart of the cavern, was a horrifying creature, a swirling vortex of shadow and serpent, bound by thick, living roots that grew from the very heart of the jungle. The lion finally spoke, his voice a low rumble that seemed to shake the very stone. This is why animals disappear, he said. I do not take them to harm them. Their life energy is a sacrifice. It strengthens these roots and keeps this monster trapped. He paused, a heavy sigh escaping his chest. If it breaks free, the jungle will fall. In that moment, Lumi finally understood. The terrible truth washed over him. His brother didn't die in fear, ripped apart by a monster. He gave his life willingly to protect everyone he loved. He was a hero. The great lion lowered his massive head, a flicker of exhaustion in his glowing eyes. I have done this alone for centuries, he admitted. But my strength is fading. I cannot do this alone forever. Hearing this, Lumi took a deep breath, his fear replaced by a newfound purpose. He stepped forward. "I will stay," he said, his voice small but unwavering. Days turned into weeks, and a new quiet settled over the jungle. The fear was gone, replaced by something new, something profound, a deep respect for sacrifice, and deep in the heart of the forest, where the shadows were longest, a silent watch was kept. A small, courageous deer stood proudly beside a mighty, ancient lion, two guardians standing together against the darkness that must never be released. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more.